Hey guys, my name is Anthony and in today's video I'm going to be doing my final episode of my Hotlap Analysis series. So if you want to see more videos similar to this, make sure to go and check out my first episode of my race stint analysis, where I'll basically be doing the same thing, but instead of doing it over a single hot lap in time trial, I'll be doing it over a race stint from a league race. So make sure to click the link in the description below or click the link at the top right hand side of the screen to go and watch that first episode. So for today, I want to thank Jack and FormulaMatt for supplying the footage of this episode. Because it's the last one, I'm going to do 2 different hot laps in this episode, so let's get straight into it. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking over 3 different things, 3 main things that will help you guys improve your lap times, and then I'll sort of be giving you examples using the 3 hot laps, including my own, that I've got in this video to sort of back up that claim. So for the first one, brake as late as possible makes up a lot of time. Obviously you guys know that, but you need to have the confidence in order to brake as late as possible, or else you're just not going to be able to do it effectively, which is just going to end up ruining your lap times, ruining your tires instead of gaining you lap time. So if we use Jack's braking point going into the Wall of Champions, you'll see what I mean by this. He brakes super late going into the Wall of Champions, braking well after the 100-meter board, whereas if you was to use my braking point in my recent career mode video, I think I brake quite early compared to him going into that same corner. And then using FormulaMatt's braking point going into turn 5 at Spa, you can see once again brake super late, and I think I brake pretty much at the same time. You want to brake as late as you possibly can, but also have the confidence to use the trail braking technique to be able to get the car slowed down into the corner. It's great being able to brake super late, but if you don't have the confidence in yourself to be able to use the technique properly, to be able to get the car slowed down enough to go through the corner as quickly as you can, you're just going to end up locking up your tires if you're not using ABS. That's going to ruin your tire temperatures, it's going to ruin your tire wear, and it's going to slow you down overall throughout the lap. So you need to have the confidence in order to brake as late as you possibly can. So to finish off this point, you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do I gain the confidence to be able to brake as late as possible going into corners and use the trail braking technique to really get the car slowed down? Well, it's simple, you just practice. When it comes to trail braking, it's literally all about muscle memory, and in order to build muscle memory, you just need to go out there and practice. Obviously you can practice in time trial, because time trial is meant to be there for people who are learning the track without racing line, or even with racing line. It's just about learning the track. It's not necessarily about learning how to drive with 15 lap old tires or learning how to drive with a fully fueled car. It's all about learning the track. So I highly recommend that if you're learning the track, go on time trial and just learn where the braking points are. Just learn how to trail brake. It's all about muscle memory. Using a load cell brake pedal will be a lot easier when it comes to learning how to trail brake. But for those of you who are like myself, who are using a potentiometer brake, which is basically when the more you press on the brake pedal, the further it goes, it's going to take a little bit more time to really dial in that muscle memory, so you're going to need to practice a little bit more, but it's just how it is. Practice will give you that confidence. And speaking of confidence, moving on to point 2, confidence in general gives you lap time. It gains you lap time, and I'm not just talking about confidence on the brakes, I'm also talking about confidence swinging the car into corners. I'm also talking about confidence getting your foot on the throttle. Confidence in general just gains you lap time, and this is what I'm talking about when I say you really need to dial in the muscle memory, because the more you practice the techniques, the more you learn the muscle memory, the more confidence you'll have going around the track, especially when you're using no line, the no racing line. So once you take that off, it can be quite frustrating, because you forget where to brake, you don't really know where to look around the track. You have to learn all of that stuff, and that gives you the confidence to be able to go quicker and quicker. So using Jack's lap, if you look at turn 3, he swings the car. As soon as he brakes, as soon as he gets to the turning point, he just swings the car into the corner. If you look at that compared to mine, even though I'm in an Alfa Romeo, so it's a little bit different, you can see that I am not swinging the car as much as he's swinging the car into the corner, and he will gain a lot of time on me. Even if I was probably using equal cars, if I turn as slowly and as passively as that compared to his aggressive turn, again, he's just going to gain a lot more time, because he's going to be opening up especially when you're going into a chicane, he's going to be opening up the next corner a little bit more because he turned in just that little bit sooner, which just gives him more time to just go onto the throttle quicker, and he can just shoot off essentially. And you can see the same thing going off of the hairpin at sector 3, the final hairpin. He just gets on the throttle so quickly, he just has the confidence to know where the limit is, which means he can push the car to its limit, which will give him more lap time. It will be able to go on the throttle quicker, which means down the entire straight, he's going to be going quicker than I did. Now again, I know I'm in the Alfa Romeo and it's a little bit upgraded, but it's not as good as the Mercedes, so obviously you're going to have more confidence driving the Mercedes, but again, confidence gains you lap time, and that's why people like Lewis Hamilton in real life are able to get such quick lap times even over his own teammate in the same car. I know a lot of you guys will say the Mercedes are quicker than everybody else, but if you look at the lap times between Hamilton and Bottas, you can see the difference, and it's because Hamilton is a lot more confident going into the corners, swinging the car into the corners, getting on the throttle, braking later than Bottas is. So lastly, I'm going to sort of talk about the weaknesses, some of the weaknesses that I saw within the 3 laps. So for Jack, there wasn't really much weaknesses I could personally notice. Again, I'm not the best driver out there, I don't claim to be, so there might be weaknesses that other drivers may see that I can't right now, but you know, the only weakness I could guess I could come up with is that maybe he could carry a little bit more apex speed throughout the lap. If he can carry a little bit more apex speed throughout the lap, he will gain time. But again, I don't know, I just can't really see any weaknesses. But when it comes to my lap and FormulaMatt's lap on Spa, there are a few apexes that were missed throughout the lap, which if we had just swung the car a little bit more into the corner, we could have gained even more lap time. So if you look at turn 7, for example, for FormulaMatt's point of view, he doesn't take as much curb as I did going into that same corner. So, you know, he's losing out on a little bit of time, because with those sequence of corners, you really want to open up the next corner with the corner that you're going into. This will help you just get that car turned in a little bit sooner. It'll help you get on the throttle just a little bit sooner, and you can see that going into turn 7 and turn 8 from my lap versus FormulaMatt's lap, which I'll have playing in the background right about now. And then you can see going into turn 9, FormulaMatt, he gets a lot more curb going into that corner than I did, and you can see that will end up gaining FormulaMatt a little bit more time. I think it will actually gain him the time that he lost from turn 7. And then moving on to turn 13, we both don't take as much curb as we should have, so we lost a little bit of time there. Now usually we're just losing a couple of hundredths, but if you do this multiple times throughout the lap, it does add up. So you really want to just dial in the turn-in points, the brake points when going through a lap, especially a track like Spa. Spa is a pretty difficult track to drive around. It's one of the most difficult, and it's one of the longest as well. So if you mess up any sort of sequence of corners, you're going to be losing quite a lot of time, and that time, it adds up. And when it comes to Formula 1, even just hundredths of a second is still a lot of time to lose. So to recap what I've talked about in this episode, mainly confidence gains you lap time, whether it's confidence through braking as late as possible, whether it's confidence from being able to throw the car into corners without having to worry whether you're going to hit a wall or anything like that, or whether it's confidence to be able to get onto the throttle earlier. Confidence will get you lap time. So if you want to be quicker at F1 2020, you're going to have to gain confidence, and the way that you gain confidence is through muscle memory and practice. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and you learned something from it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and stick around by subscribing to the channel. As I said, this is going to be the final Hotlap analysis video, but if you want to see more videos like this but in a race stint setting, so me actually analyzing a full race stint, talking about the most important laps and what people are thinking throughout those laps, then make sure to go to the video that's in the description below and check out the first episode I did on myself, and I'll see you guys in the next video.